work on specific things that get them in a bind at times. But overall, I mean, it's some positive things. I mean, I thought defense played pretty well today. You know, we moved the ball at times. I think as the scrimmage went on, which is pretty, you know, often it gets a little better for the offense as it gets on. You sputter a little bit at first, so I thought it was pretty good. It'd be hard to tell without watching film.
Positive or negative when you have one running back do well one time, another running back another time, one quarterback do well one time, another quarterback next time. Positive, negatives of that?
I think it's positive. I mean, I think you're giving one position a little too much credit. You know, if you see the group move the ball, there's 10 other guys out there too. So a lot of times, you know, somebody gets too much blame and too much credit. There's breakdowns all across the board. You know, sometimes that goes without saying, but you know, I mean, you're gonna play good at times and play bad at times. I mean, it's just the way it is. You're gonna make good decisions and make bad decisions. Hopefully, you learn from the bad ones. And so, you know, I don't think. I mean, just after the scrimmage, my mindset. I mean, I don't think there was anything glaringly negative other than the 2 turnovers. You know, that's the only thing, in my opinion, that was glaringly negative. Even when we had the ball backed up right here, we didn't score, but when you back up and you move it to the 40, in my opinion, that's a positive. You know, because you can flip the field, and so there's positives kind of mixed within the whole scrimmage. We sputtered at first, no doubt. I mean, that's, you know, you want to come out and play fast. But I mean, I thought our energy was good. I thought we had some skilled guys that made some pretty damn good plays.
Any update on Dreamus from what we saw?
I haven't talked to him about it. He got popped pretty good. I know that. I haven't heard.
What did you see out of Garrison? It's a couple nice
I thought
runs.
Garrison had a really good scrimmage. I mean, he showed up. I mean, he definitely showed up. He was a guy that stuck out. So I mean, I thought he was extremely positive.
It seems like he's back. I mean, healthy. He had the knee, he had the hamstring, and now, I mean, this is looking like old Dustin Garrison.
Dusty can play when he plays like that. There's no doubt. People have seen it. So, you know, that was really good to see that kid come out today and play the way he did. I thought it was extremely positive. Played hard. Went that way, right? For a little guy, that's good.
Have all the running backs raised their level of game, you think, because of the competition?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way it goes. You mix in 4 or 5 guys that can play, and if you want to play, you better, you know, I mean, that's the baseline for competition. You know, you want, the more competition you have, the better it's going to make everybody. We can get more positions crowded like that position, we're going to see
How do you feel like Smallwood's kind of adjusted to that role? So
good. He's pretty talented. You get the ball in space to him, so we just need to keep doing that more and more with that kid. He's good. He's very flexible.
Is there room for all of them to play?
I mean, at one time, probably not. Running backs get nicked up. You know, I mean, is there ever a negative? I don't know if anybody's ever went through a season and said, man, we just had too many running backs out there. That ain't never happened. Now, it's happened the other way a lot, you know, because through the course of the season, those guys tend to get nicked up probably more than any other skill person. So you better have a lot of them. And so I don't think there's any negative with that.
how about your quarterback?
Now we're talking about depth being the problem, right? Is that what you're
That's a
asking?
good thing, right?
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
Any thoughts on your quarterbacks today without watching film?
I mean, I thought, you know, there was some times like breaking them each down. You know, obviously the handoff down here where Logan sticks out to me. We got to make a handoff. You know, I mean, some of that. I mean, I don't know whose fault it was or whatever, but ultimately it comes back to the quarterback. I thought we got caught with the ball a couple times. You know, Skylar and Paul both. You know, just put the ball in play. You know, you're standing back there. You know, you got to have a clock in your head, especially when you get the ball down here. You don't want to go backwards. You don't want to get taken out of field goal range. There was one time Paul got taken back on the sack. Just put the ball in play. You know, there's a couple times down here with Skylar that just put the ball in play. So, you know, that frustrates me more than anything. I mean, taking a sack when they blitz and come wide open free and you don't have a chance is one thing. But sitting back there holding the ball for 10 seconds and taking a sack,
Talking big picture, are you guys better prepared for the Big 12 year 3 now? I mean, have you seen differences? Do you feel like this offense is ready to do anything differently this year?
I hope so. I mean, that's the goal. But I think all around, as far as offense all around, we're more suited. You know, because we're deeper. You know, we got some experienced guys that have played. I think we've got 20-something guys that's played in the Big 12 games, which I don't think we could have said that the last couple of years. And so with experience and depth, I think we are now. I mean, there's one key factor. You know, I mean, the quarterback's got to perform. And so we're gonna put somebody in there that can do it. saying any positive or negative about any of those guys, but that's just a factor in it.
Speaking of the quarterbacks, what are some of the benefits of having a guy that's the station? It's more beyond just
Well, I mean, the obvious one is just extended plays. You know, I mean, just like I said a while ago, I mean, getting tackled, getting sacked, you know, and that was one emphasis with Paul going into the offseason is we want to maximize his ability to escape. Now, he's never going to be an extremely mobile guy because that's just his genetic makeup. But things are going to break. I mean, very seldom are you sitting back there extremely comfortable. You know, defenses are going to disguise coverages. They're going to blitz. The looks are going to change. Offensive linemen are going to bust protection. So the very routine plays, in my opinion, aren't the ones that really make you stick out. It's whenever things break down, what do you do with the ball? I mean, do you get caught, get sacked? Do you get the ball out, throw it away? I'm fine with that. But I mean, something positive has to happen when things break down, because that's the key.
Can you help a mobile kid? Can it help maybe areas?
Watch yourself. Sorry.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it's tougher on the defense because they got a guard on you, and I think that it changes their mindset whenever you got a guy that can. Just for instance, when you're running the ball, if you got a guy that can pull it and keep it, well, that's another dynamic. Especially if a guy can pull it and keep it and go 50 yards. You know, that's another dynamic that defenses have to account for. It makes defenses play a little more honest.
Guys like Manziel and Russell change the thinking a little bit. You know, you talk about the prototypical quarterback. It's 6'5", stands tall in the pocket, but now you see more of these guys.
Yeah, and I think it's just everybody's getting more athletic. D linemen are getting more athletic. Linebacker, I mean, everybody's running faster. It's just the way it's evolution, you know. And so it's only natural for that position to become a little more athletic too. It just makes sense.
Has that altered your thoughts a little bit on how you look at quarterbacks?
Yeah, it has. I think if you look at the way we've evaluated quarterbacks in years past, it's just the ability to distribute the ball, you know. And now the ability to extend plays is definitely high on our list.
So you may be looking at a great athlete, put them in a quarterback.
Well, you got to be able to throw the ball. I mean, we're not going to get too far away from that because that's what we do. But you know, there's going to be a balance between recruiting of having a guy. You know, if I sat there and was looking at a guy that was extremely stationary and I was looking at a guy that could throw it about the same but could move, I'm going to go with that guy, you know. Yeah, it's going to tip that way for that guy.
Talking to your spots about putting out a true freshman, putting out a junior college guy, but the fourth-year senior, the fifth-year senior becomes, you know, a really important key to any team. But a guy like Dustin Garrison, who's been through the ringer, who's been through the ups and downs, how much do you sort of, you know, you need a player like him on a team to put it all together?
I agree. I mean, I think that experience is, and like the stat I said, and I forget what it was, I think it's 22 guys that have played in Big 12 games, and that's a big stat, you know. So, I mean, nobody's going to be shocked and awed by things that happen at this point. You know, those guys have been through it. There's guys out there that's been through it a little more than the other guys, and Dustin's one of them, and he's been here for a while. You know, I mean, he played a lot of football his freshman year, too, and so, you know, I mean, it's good to see him show up, you know, because he's been pretty consistent the last few practices of playing pretty well. So I thought it was good to see him play good.
See a guy that small, pack a punch like that.
Yeah, he went forward.
He's really worked on that.
He's going forward, which is awesome to see, you know, because you think of a guy like that running in between the tackles, you know, I mean, he needs to be able to. I mean, there's a lot of small backs that go forward, you know. I mean, it's just a mentality, go forward. And so I thought he did a good job of that. I mean, heck, there was one screen we did, it looked like 4 tackles, you know, that was awesome to see.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. I mean, part of the biggest factor is that you can get with those two guys, they're not just going to line up in the backfield, not just going to line up at tight end. So those guys can line up at, like, you know, he caught that touchdown down here in the slot. And so we're trying to stretch the limits of what they can do lined up in the slot receiver, because if we can have the same personnel on the field and do 4 or 5 different formations, you can play faster. There's, you know, obviously today they were spotting the ball slow, but we can get lined up and play faster and limit what the defense does. And so those guys are, you know, luckily enough, those guys have really good ball skills. You know, both Eli and Cody have exceptionally good ball skills. Hope too. Hope's got good ball skills too. So I mean, a lot of times big guys like that, that's a problem. They don't catch the ball real clean, you know. But those guys have exceptional ball skills, so we can put them out in the slot. do some stuff.
When you bring him into the short yardage, changes the game.
Heck yeah, hits him right in the mouth, right?
Is Wellman a more athletic version of Cody?
I think Cody's, if you look at Cody's body from last year to this year, he's made a concerted effort to get him. He looks more athletic now than he ever has. And so I don't know if more athletic, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that. Because I think Cody's pretty athletic for what he does. I mean, Eli might be a little faster, you know. Cody's pretty sneaky with those little routes in there, you know. Eli's learning from him too. Cody does some good things in those routes that Eli's learning from him.
Tell what ball skills. Is that just not fighting it and catching it naturally?
Just sucking it in, you know. It just becomes, it's like the ball's an extension of your hand. You know, it's just easy. It's just easy. A lot of people's hands are hard, you know, and you gotta, you know, it's like a sponge. You gotta just suck it in.
40 catches each, probably good.
Hell yeah, I'll take that.